Dexter Morgan isn't a traditional villain. He's not a misunderstood hero either. He lives somewhere between those extremes, in a moral twilight zone where justice becomes personal and murder is ritual. At face value, he's a serial killer. He stalks, abducts, and dismembers people. But there's a catch: he only kills those who've committed heinous crimes themselves. In a world where the justice system often fails, Dexter becomes a shadowy avenger. But does this moral code absolve him of evil? Or is the code just a mask, a justification for a deep and primal urge? The brilliance of Dexter, the show, and the character, is in how it forces us to wrestle with the nature of evil. Evil, we're often told, is defined by cruelty, selfishness, or a disregard for life. Yet Dexter is meticulous, selective, and, disturbingly, even likable. He's a father, a brother, a co-worker. He jokes, shows loyalty, and occasionally seems to feel something like love. But beneath the surface lies something cold and calculating. Not just a man doing what he believes is right, but a man who must kill to feel whole. This is where the question of evil becomes murky. Because evil, in its most disturbing forms, rarely looks like the devil. It often looks like the guy next door. A polite smile. A charming laugh. A loving brother. Evil doesn't always feel like chaos. Sometimes, it feels like control. Dexter's code, given to him by his adoptive father Harry, is a set of rules to contain his darkness. It's an attempt to aim the monster inside toward a social good. But what does it say about a person that their moral compass is built around the act of killing? Even if he's targeting killers, rapists, and predators, the method remains the same as murder. Premeditated, organized, and repeated. Is this justice, or just rationalized sadism? There's a fundamental difference between seeking justice and seeking release. Justice is outward. It's about restoring balance. Dexter's compulsion, however, is inward. He doesn't kill to help the world, he kills to satisfy an urge. The code just makes the act more palatable to others, and perhaps to himself. And that's where the tragedy lies. Because Dexter isn't entirely in denial. He knows what he is. He admits it, often with a chilling lack of remorse. He refers to his dark passenger as if it were an entity separate from his self. But this metaphor is convenient. It allows him to believe that the darkness is not truly him, that he is just the host. But over time, we come to understand that the dark passenger is not some external force. It is Dexter. There's no one else behind the wheel. Still, Dexter tries to be good, or something resembling it. He raises a son. He protects his sister. He punishes the guilty. In this way, the show cleverly juxtaposes psychopathy and humanity. Can someone who feels nothing still choose to do the right thing? And if they do it consistently, does that make them good? But consistency isn't the same as morality. Dexter's moral code is self-imposed. He is judge, jury, and executioner. There's no accountability. No checks. And over time, we see the erosion of that code. He becomes more reckless. More impulsive. More willing to bend the rules. It begins with technicalities: a killer he can't prove is guilty, but knows this. Then it spreads to convenience. A threat to his secret. A loose end. Eventually, his victims include those who arguably didn't deserve death, people like Dokes, or Rita, or Lagerta, whose only crime was getting too close. The deeper tragedy is that Dexter's code, rather than restraining him, becomes a tool of deception, a way to make his acts feel moral while they increasingly serve his own needs.